Hey folks, how you doing? Cyrus here. 4 in the morning. I look a little bit sleepy and my voice seems a bit sleepy, but that's kind of like my routine nowadays. And after that 30 plus days of the dopamine detox, I try to sleep early and try to wake up early. I don't know if I shared this information before, but I was reading an article and they were saying that, a long time ago in the history, we actually couldn't sleep later than, 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. because there were no lights in our life, and we tend to really wake up very early in the morning because the sun was rising and you could see everywhere and you could actually start working. So that's how our ancestors were living, and our body kind of like used to that source of waking up early and sleeping early. And I thought, let's give it a shot. And there were this Dr. Andrew Huberman, I think. He was saying if you actually not sleeping after 11 p.m. and your eyes can actually feed from a source of light, you're more driven to become kind of like depressed. And I was thinking that yes, we can actually turn this around and trying to sleep early and wake up early and give it a shot, and it actually works. It's very fine because nowadays there are a lot of constructions that are actually running around our buildings, and there are a lot of noise when you actually wake up at 9 a.m. and stuff like that. And I thought, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., 5 hours, I can use it for my own benefits and doing everything that I like to do. And I'm more focused, more concentrated and fresh. And it's a very good time. Anyway, I was here to share with you a very interesting news about what's happening in my head after this 30 plus days of dopamine detox. So I told you I made a video about I'm finally free, and people are actually noticing that video. I got my first comment today as well. Anyway, in that video I described that everything seems much fresher, sweeter, and your experience of life is kind of like in another level after this 30 days. Like, you don't use your cell phone, you don't use your social media applications, and you're not really listening to all this noise around you, like different kind of music, and you're more focused. But the problem is that you're kind of like, cut all the resources from the external source of dopamine. But my mind craving for dopamine all the time. It seems like your body is kind of like an addictive sort of thing, that you're looking for it, but you don't want it. Or so this is two different things. I don't think about getting back to that lifestyle again anymore, but it doesn't mean that it's not really happening in the back of my mind. Like, unconsciously I'm thinking about it. And the problem is that I was going on a date with a beautiful girl, and I just noticed that my mind is looking for getting back to that date constantly, not in a normal way. But it seems like my mind could actually get every single cell of hormone from that date. And it was just like, Cyrus, get back to it. Call that girl, just say, oh, I just want to see you. I don't want to do anything. I just want to see you. It seems like I could get every little dopamine that I needed from that date. And it was just like, all right, I really like that girl, and I have to get back to that date. And that girl seems totally different. She's it's like she was way different. But after a couple of days, I just found out that it's not about the girl, but it's about my mind, and it's all about me experiencing things in a different way. And it was kind of like dangerous, to be honest, because you start feeling that maybe people are different nowadays. Maybe society seems a bit different nowadays, but that's not true. I mean, like in psychology, we say the truth is your perception of the truth. So it doesn't mean that whatever you feel is the truth out there, but the way that we experience it can be deceived by many parameters. And when you actually cut all the external sources, it doesn't mean that you're finally free. So back to that video that I made, it seems like I'm not finally free from the whole picture, but I'm finally free from the very normal stuff. Like, I'm finally free from thinking about listening to music. I'm finally free of using myself. I can just throw it away for I don't know, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and I can just, I can focus on my work. But after that 12 hours, I just pick it up and I try to just message some of my friends and say hello to them. Maybe just try to set up some time to hang out with them and talk to them. But the problem was that I was looking for a greater source of dopamine, not a normal one anymore. Like maybe social media and stuff like that just put me in a phase that I cannot get rid of it that easily. But I have to insist on it. So I think I'm actually paying too much value here for a greater things, which I think is worth it, which I think I have to cut more sources to be able to stay strong and focused. Because when I was on a date, I couldn't really focus anymore. I was having too much pleasure of listening to somebody's conversation, which normally I don't usually feel joyful from such conversation with such people. But because of cutting everything that I had back in my life, I was experiencing even a single date in a different way. And I had to constantly remind myself that it was like reminding that it's not the truth. Just try to be conscious and try to be as conscious as possible to not get deceived by anything like that. Anyway, not that the girl wasn't bad, not that the date wasn't bad, but my experience of the whole story was in another level, which was a bit scary to myself. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that. I think that should be a very normal experience. If you start getting into that phase, you should experience such a thing. So be aware of that, try to control it, and that's all. That's all I had to share with you. Anyway, see you later.